Hej, vi sitter här med två delar av Billy Talent och jag ska låta dem introducera sig själv allra först. Would you please guys introduce yourselves first?
Hey, I'm Ian.
I'm Jon.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I heard you're in Helsinki now doing promotion or touring around Europe doing promotion. You also did DJ yesterday. How was that?
Yeah, we DJ'd at this bar called The Loose, and it was a lot of fun. It's cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. We didn't know what to expect. We've never really kind of done that very often, so it was.
Well, you're far away from home on this trip, and like we talked, you're not playing on this trip. You're only touring and DJing then, obviously. But you said you have some shows coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, on Sunday we play our first show, kind of big for the third record. Start in Paris, and then we kind of move through Europe, playing some festivals and a couple of clubs. So it's exciting.
So you've been building up your reputation more as a live band as opposed to maybe a studio band. You're a hard touring band, but you're also a hard partying band on tour.
I don't know. I think we're pretty much middle of the road when it comes to the partying. Sometimes we go at it hard, and sometimes we know when to draw back.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I like to go out to the bars, and we definitely like to have a good time, but we're not out of control.
I'm just asking because a lot of bands nowadays, at least in Finland, take pride in not being these, if you will, Motley Crue kind of bands from the 80s, and they take it more professionally, if you will.
We definitely have a professional approach to things. Like, we know when to have fun and we know when not to have fun. We wouldn't want our shows to get compromised or, we all have serious women in our lives, so it's not like we're going to chasing skirts and stuff like that. Yeah, between Motley Crue and us, yeah. But
cool. Well, let's talk about the upcoming new album. It's called Billy Talent 3. What's with the unimaginary album titles?
Well, it wasn't really like something that we thought about a lot. First record would be just called Billy Talent, and then we thought, the second album we just call it 2, and it'll sound cool. And then it carried out again. Like we ended up putting a lot of time and energy into writing songs, and at the end of the day, that's the most important thing to us. So the album title we've never really cared about or thought about, so we just decided to call this one 3 as well. And this will complete the trilogy, and then the next album we're going to change.
Yeah, we're going to have to start thinking of names now, I think.
Now we have to start thinking of names because people keep asking us about why you have your albums.
Well, let's not get stuck on the name. Let's talk about the music, because I had a chance to pre-listen to the entire album as it is. And to me, it sounds like you've tightened down the repertoire even more than before. Unison sound and the songs sort of are more similar to each other than they used to be. Would you agree with that? Or is that a compliment?
I don't know. I think I disagree with that, but I was a part of the whole process, so it's kind of hard for me to think of that objectively. But
I think sonically they have a more unified feel. I agree. Musically, there are quite a few different types of songs, but the bulk of the record is made up of heavy rock type music. Yeah.
You were working with Brendan O'Brien on this, as opposed to Gavin. What's his name again?
Gavin Brown.
Yeah, as opposed to Gavin Brown on the 2 previous ones. What was the main reason for changing, and what did Brendan contribute?
Well, it all happened. We were resigned to the fact that Ian would produce the record. That's kind of the direction we had wanted and what we were thinking to do. And then we were asked, well, if you could work with anybody, who would it be? So we threw out like 2 outrageous names that we just thought would kind of disappear, and one of them was Brendan O'Brien, the other one was Butch Vig. And Brendan contacted us pretty much immediately after he heard a couple of the demos we had made and said he was in, and we were like, what? So that's it was a dream come true.
What was his big or great contribution to the sound or to the sort of building up of songs?
I think overall, like, the greatest contribution was the sound of Aaron's drums and John's bass. Like, it's just, everything just sounds like really thick and bottom heavy. Right. That was the biggest. And then secondly, he made a lot of great suggestions in some of the songs that really brought the song to a new level, I think.
Does the band have an internet strategy how to sort of contain the material until published?
We actually set up a website called BillyTalent3.com, and we posted the little videos and stuff of us in the studio working on the songs, and so that's one of the things that we wanted to give to our fans so they could have an inside look of us working in the studio. But I think closer to the record date, I'm sure we'll give them a couple teasers as well.
A few years back, there was a massive influx of Canadian bands. I know you were part of that wave that was coming on. Is that wave still rolling in Canada, or
yeah, it's
going on?
It still is. It may have calmed down a bit because everything seemed to happen at once at a certain point. Like, we had Death from Above, 1979 come out, and Metric, and Lex on Fire, and us, and Arcade Fire, and Broken Social Scene. And a lot of indie bands and major label bands all coming out at once and gaining international attention. And now it's kind of calmed down a bit, but there's still so many other great Canadian bands still that will probably hear of in the next few years.
Yeah. Would you give us any hint in advance?
Does the Tokyo Police Club do?
I don't know.
Good over here.
I don't know. Tokyo Police Club's a group that they're from Toronto as well. They've been doing really good in the UK and the US. Yeah. So maybe you'll hear of them soon. Tokyo Police Club, and a band that I just produced. They're coming out with a new record that Matt Hyde produced. I worked on one of their EPs. They're called Die Mannequin, and I think you'll get that over here.
Well, I think they would do well
really
in
well
Finland.
over here. Yeah.
Cool.
The rock band.
This is the last question that I always say, because the web sign we're doing is called Peppar. So what would you be for what do you call this? Seasoning.
Pepper shaker? A seasoning?
What kind of seasoning would Billy Talent be?
I would be a hot pepper flake.
Well, the whole band, or?
Individually.
Personally.
I don't know.
He wants to be a hot pepper flake. What do you want to be?
I'll be Cajun spice. That's my favorite spice. So.
Thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you. Cool.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you. That was great. Yeah.
All right. Do this.